What's going on, guys? Dottz Gaming here, and today I'm bringing you a beginner's guide to horses in Black Desert Online. At its surface, horses are a simple thing in BDO. They serve as your mount. They take you from point A to point B. However, like most things in BDO, the horse system has a ton of depth to it, and there's a lot of different facets to the system. So today I'm going to explain how the horse system works in detail so you can start working on getting the best mount possible. Horses also do have an associated life skill known as training, which you can look at if you open up your character sheet. The better this training skill, the better you're able to do a variety of activities related to horses that I'm going to discuss here in this guide. But if you want to know what those are, simply hovering over the life skill will show you. Training is going to be a skill that you do at least want to level on your main, as getting your training to professional 1 will allow your horse to automatically sprint while you have auto pathing on, which can really help you travel around much quicker. I'll explain an easy way to level up your horse training here in this guide as well, so you can get to professional 1 as quickly as possible. So there are multiple ways to acquire a horse in BDO, with the first one being catching. So taming a horse is a great way to level your training skill. In order to do this, you're going to need a capturing rope as well as lumps of sugar. You can buy the capturing rope from the stable keeper, and lumps of sugar can be created by combining 10 sugar with 1 mineral water via heating in the processing window. Both of these items can be purchased from general merchants in an inn. With your rope and sugar, head out to the world and look for a wild horse. Media is a great place to find horses and is somewhere I recommend looking to find your horses. With your capturing rope and sugar lumps bound to hotbar keys, approach a horse and use the capturing rope with your crosshairs over the horse. Press L and B and you will enter a horse minigame. You're going to want to approach the horse and hit the spacebar as fast as you can. As you win the minigame, slowly approach the horse. You may have to complete this minigame multiple times. This is kind of like you have to smash the spacebar a lot, then you can walk a little bit forward, then you have to do the minigame, then you can walk a little bit forward. It's kind of like a process to actually catch the horse. As you get to the horse, use the lumps of sugar, which will increase the probability to successfully mount the horse. And then once you get to the horse, you can try to get on, and then at this point, if you do successfully, you can bring the horse back to the stables and you can register it there, and then you'll get your training experience. We will also get more into how to level this horse up and get a ton more training experience in the skills section of this guide. The next way to acquire a horse is via the horse market. You can just simply talk to a stable keeper, click stable, horse market, and then you'll see a variety of horses for sale. You can purchase a horse here if you so choose, or even list one for sale yourself. You can also get a very good starting horse from a quest pretty early on in the game. Once you've completed the Balanos quest line, you'll find a quest under the suggested tab called Horse Emblem Seal of the Secret Guards. That will give you a T5 horse with sprint and instant acceleration, 2 skills that are very important for traveling on your horse. I'll explain more about horse tiers and skills in a bit, but this is a very solid starting horse and will serve you extremely well in your early adventures. Another way to get a horse is by simply buying a beginner horse emblem from a stable keeper, which you can get really cheaply for some silver out of their shop, and then the horse can be registered at the same NPC when you click stable. Generally, I wouldn't really recommend this as the horse isn't the best, and the horse that you get from that quest that I just mentioned is way better. Another way to get a horse is the Shikatu seals. You get shiny Shikatu seals from events and login rewards, and when you bring, I believe it's 50 of those to Shikatu's Rest, you are able to exchange him for a T8 horse emblem. Just right click the seal and have it bring you to the exchange NPC, and then bring the emblem to the stable, and you can exchange it and register your horse. So now that we all know a bunch of ways to actually get horses, I want to kind of discuss some things related to them, with the first thing being horse tiers. So horses in Black Desert Online have tiers, starting at tier 1 and going all the way up to tier 10, with tier 1 being the lowest and tier 10 being the highest. The higher your horse tier, the more skills it can learn and the better stats it can have. Normal horses are tier 1 through tier 8, while dream horses are tier 9 and tier 10, and are the best horses that you can get into the game, but we will cover dream horses more in a bit. We also have horse skills. So horses in Black Desert Online have a wide variety of active skills that they can have at their disposal. Skills for horses fall into 2 categories: courser skills and non-courser skills. A courser is a type of horse that's learned a specific set of skills, and a horse's courser status can be seen by a gold horse icon when you open the horse window, which is F7 when you're near your horse, or you can just look at it when it's in the stable. Coursers are worth more in the market due to their skills being the most desirable, and tier 8 coursers can be awakened or turned into dream horses, those T9 or T10 horses that I discussed earlier on. But again, I'll discuss this more later in the guide. But the 3 most important skills for your horse to have are sprint, drift, and instant acceleration, as these will allow you to travel around the map as quickly as possible by utilizing drift canceling. Now, while holding the shift button to sprint on your mount, you're going to want to press either A and S or S plus D to enter a drift. You are then going to want to release that and press F quickly to instant acceleration. Shift should also be held down the entire time during this process. The reason we do this is because the drift resets the cooldown on instant acceleration, allowing us to move at bursts of speed around the map. So now that we've discussed some of the basics with horse tiers and skills, I want to explain to you guys how you can get a great horse very cheaply. If you look for a tier 8 non-courser on the horse market that has drift, sprint, and instant acceleration, you're basically going to get all the benefits of being able to drift cancel without having to pay that hefty courser price tag. You could also just get a T8 courser later on when you're ready to try for a dream horse, but this T8 non-courser with those 3 skills will serve you extremely well as a solid horse while you are focusing your silver on other things earlier on in the game. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is horse stats. So horses in Black Desert have a wide variety of stats, which include the following: speed, which increases your AFK and sprint speed; acceleration, which improves your top speed for instant acceleration; turn, which determines how sharply your horse can turn. You have brake, which is how quickly your horse will stop. It's also very important for stability during drift and instant acceleration animation canceling, as braking will reduce your drift animation significantly. You also have health, which will obviously increase your horse's max health. And then you also have stamina. So stamina is consumed when you use horse skills and determines how far your horse can travel before being fed with carrots, which I would recommend carrying on you to make sure that your horse is always fed. Carrots will also restore your mount's health if it is damaged. You also have your horse's inventory and weight. The size of your horse's inventory and how much weight it can carry will be determined by this. Now, you can actually use the horse's weight to do a neat little trick when you're grinding, where you basically bounce the over-encumbered status between you and your horse. So when you reach your weight limit while grinding, you're going to take your trash loot as one big stack and stick it onto your horse. Then, when you reach your weight limit a second time, you're going to go back to your horse, remove the trash loot from the horse to make it one big stack again in your inventory, and then you're going to put that big stack onto the horse. You're going to repeat this over and over during your grinding session, and then when you're done, take the giant stack of trash loot, put it back onto your character, which will make you heavily over encumbered, but you can then mount your horse, who will take you back to town at normal speed, allowing you to sell your goods. Now, we also have horse gear. So horses in Black Desert Online can have outfits just like players. These can be purchased from the Pearl Shop or the Marketplace to give your horse not only some great passive bonuses, but to make them look a lot cooler. In addition, you can equip gear to your horses that actually gives it a wide variety of stats and bonuses, such as increased speed, acceleration, health, armor, etc. This gear can be purchased off the marketplace or crafted in a variety of ways, which will vary based on the type of armor you're looking for. Early on, simply using some basic gear that you can purchase on the marketplace or from a stable keeper will serve you well. Eventually, you want to aim for a type of armor for your horse known as Krogdalo's armor. This will not only give your horse some amazing buffs, but allows you to give yourself and your party members some temporary buffs to increase your stats depending on the type of armor that you have. And I'll link a guide to the Krogdalo's armor in the description below if you are interested in learning more. The next thing that we are going to discuss is the horse training. So now the method I'm going to mention is one of the best ways to get training experience, and what I personally recommend is an amazing way to power level your training to professional 1 for AFK auto sprint. What you want to do is you want to catch and train your own horses. So with a caught horse registered, like I discussed earlier in the guide, simply remove it from the stable and set up an auto looped riding path by holding Alt and then right clicking. You can then set a path for yourself on the map and have the path end where it started. And when you do that, it'll create an auto looped path, which can be shown if it actually turns green. You could also have the path just simply be a straight line and then clicking set auto looped path afterwards. Now, when you create this auto looped path, you also have the option to save it and then reload that path later by clicking the icon of the man at the bottom right and then reloading that path, so you don't have to constantly do this every time. Now, you can simply have your character ride AFK, and as you ride the horse, it will gain experience. As it levels, it'll learn skills, and every time it does, it'll grant you training experience. Horses gain experience by how fast they're going, so having a good riding crop and a nice set of horseshoes on the horse will make that horse move faster and therefore gain more experience. Another way to augment the experience is with the Celerity Drought, increasing how much training and mount experience is gained, which you can buy off the marketplace. You can also buy a trainer's outfit from the luxury vendor and use this once you've achieved skill 10 training, and you can get these trainer's clothes, which will also make this process faster. Then, once your horse is like level 20 or so, you can either sell it on the horse market if it has learned a good set of skills, or simply turn it in with Imperial Horse Delivery to get some silver and Imperial Horse Delivery invoices, which can be exchanged with the stable keeper for a wide variety of items. Now, if you don't want to go out and catch the horse, you could also try to see if there are any low tier, low level horses on the marketplace and just simply buy those and level them up yourself if you don't want to actually go catch a horse. Now, if you're also trying to turn a horse into a courser, or level the skills on your dream horse, but you're getting skills that you don't really want, what you can do is use a mount exchange coupon from the Pearl Shop to actually change the skills. Now, generally, it's recommended to have a training skill of Artisan 1 or above, and to change 4 Chop for regular horses and Courser Spirit for dream horses to attempt to get the better skills or the courser skills, as you want to learn. You will be able to learn those 2 skills back relatively easily, and then be able to really just re-roll it again and again and again until you get the skills that you want. Now, you heard me mention riding crops. So riding crops is an item that you can get. It's like a tool. Will go in the tool slot on your character, which will make your horse's auto run much faster. You can get a blue or green quality riding crop from the shop at the stable keeper, or you can get a much stronger Manos riding crop off of the marketplace. I personally used a blue quality riding crop from the stable keeper for a long time before I had the extra silver, and then I purchased the Manos riding crop, which I did find to be worth it. The next thing I do also want to cover is the horse whistle. So by clicking the horse icon at the top left of your screen, you can call your horse to come to you. However, the base range on this is incredibly short. Now, it can be augmented by 2 different items from the Pearl Shop, the Trainer's Flute and the Celestial Horn. The Trainer's Flute will extend the range of your call to be a much bigger distance, while the Celestial Horn makes your horse's call range infinite. The Trainer's Flute can also be purchased off of the marketplace, while the Celestial Horn cannot. But you could also do a quest in the game to turn your Trainer's Flute into a Celestial Horn without spending the extra pearls, which I will link a guide to in the description below. Now, you've heard me mention dream horses a couple of times in this guide. Dream horses are a type of special horse that can be awoken, or basically, it basically comes from having a tier 8 courser. A tier 8 courser is a horse that's learned charge, drift, sprint, instant excel, sideways, S instant excel, and S sideways skills. These dream horses that you can get from these T8 coursers will have special skills and characteristics unique to them, making them some of the best horses in the game. There are 3 types of T9 dream horses. The Arduinat, which is also the Pegasus, it's the best dream horse for mobility and speed, excluding the desert and water. You'll also get the ability to air glide after a double jump, giving you some unique travel routes not available to other players. You also have the Dine, which is best for desert travel and defense, receiving no slow debuffs while you're in Valencia or the desert region. Then finally, you have the Doom horse, which is best for offensive PvP and combat. It has the ability to carry 2 passengers, has a fast active travel, but the slowest AFK travel of the 3 dream horses. Now, to actually get your dream horse, you need to bring your tier 8 courser to the Stonetail Ranch and put it in the stables there. From there, you can start your courser awakening. Courser awakening is kind of like enhancement, but for horses. To awaken your courser from tier 8 to a dream horse, you need to invest a certain amount of materials in order to try to tap for the dream horse. When you try to awaken the horse, you'll see this window. There are 3 categories that you'll see here that determine the likelihood that your horse awakens as an Arduin, a Dine, or a Doom. And you can use the following materials, which are required in a variety of ways to increase the likelihood that this happens. For skill or Pegasus / Arduinat, you have the Rainbow Gem Fruit and Stonetail Fodder. For the Dine, that's Elegance, you have the Breezy Conch Seaweed and the Spirit Pouch of the Ferocious Beast. And for strength or Doom, you have the Deep Blue Hoof Root and Pure Forest Breath. The materials that I listed above give a 1% increase that your horse awakens as this type. There are also materials that you can get from events that give a 2% chance towards horse awakening that are also worth saving. These are the Fruit of Yunderos for Arduinat, Mysterious Blue Conch for Dine, and the Crimson Fireflower for Doom. Now, the total percentage chance that these 3 categories need to add up to is 200%, with no single category being over 100%. So you could do, 100% 50-50, 175-25, whatever combination to make it equal 200%, but you never want one category to be higher than 100. The reason for this is that any materials that are added that increase the percentage past 100% are only half as effective. So you'll essentially be wasting half of your materials beyond that point. Now, with 100 Cron stones to make sure that you get half your mats back after tapping, as well as a Krogdala's Origin Stone, which can be purchased off the MP or created using 25 Rumbling Earth Shards and 25 Swaying Wind Shards, you can attempt to awaken your courser and obtain a Dream Horse. And every single time you fail, you will also get a fail stack, which will increase the likelihood that you do successfully tap the next time. Now, once you actually have your T9 Dream Horse, you can actually take this even further to make them tier 10. The Mythical Arduinat is the best mobility and speed of all the Dream Horses. The Mythical Dine can travel on water and has a skill to prevent fall damage after jumping. And while the T10 Doom is not available yet, it is planned for the future. Tier 10 horses and how to acquire them, though, are out of the scope of this guide, but I'll link guides to them below if you are interested in looking into them more. You can also actually breed horses in Black Desert. I'm not going to cover it in depth today, but just to give you a top-down view of how the system works, you need to have a male and female horse registered at your stables, as well as one empty slot for the new horse that will be created. You click the male horse and then click the Register at Breeding Market button on the menu that pops up. You'll then click your female horse and then click the breeding market at the bottom. You'll then click the tab that shows your horses at the breeding market. You'll then click the male horse that you just registered and then apply. After 2 hours, you'll then receive your new horse. You can also transport horses from one stable to another by going to a stable keeper, clicking stable, and then clicking transport mount. You'll then be able to transport mounts from one of the other stables to the one that you're at, assuming you have an eligible slot. In addition, if you do lose your mount and need to collect it, you can go to a stable keeper, click remote collection, and your mount will be transported to the stable that you're currently at. But guys, with that being said, that is going to be it for me covering everything about horses in Black Desert Online. As you can see, there's actually quite a lot to horses in the game. I mean, there is an entire life skill line dedicated to them, but you know, I do kind of like how the mount system does have a bit of depth to it and is more than just simply something that you ride on. So hopefully this guide was helpful and cleared up some things related to horses. And if you did find this helpful, I would really appreciate a lot if you left a like on the video, as well as a comment below letting me know that this guide was helpful to you, as it really does help me in the YouTube algorithm. If you have any questions, you can also leave a comment below as well. And for more BDO beginner guides, please hit that sub button as well as the bell to keep those notifications on. Appreciate you all stopping by today. Thank you all very much. As always, I'm Dottz Gaming, and I'll see you all in the next video.